Hello, everybody. Welcome to the DePINed Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Trowbridge. We're excited to bring you interviews with the key founders in the DePIN landscape, investors, and ecosystem partners. This is an exciting time for DePIN, and this year we're going to be meeting even more founders learning about the projects that they're building, about the traction they're getting, and about the revenue that they're generating. The podcast is brought to you by Fluence. Fluence is building a decentralized compute platform. It's a project I'm a co-founder of and really excited about. So buckle up for this year. Please subscribe to the channel, listen to us on Spotify or Apple. And of course, if you are around any of the large conferences, come to our DePIN Day, where you can meet these founders on the Fluence team in person and hear from all the ecosystem partners as well. So look forward to seeing you in person, and let's get going on this podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the DePIN Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Trowbridge. I'm thrilled to be here today with Max Lee, who is the founder of OORT. And Max is also a professor of electrical engineering at Columbia University. So welcome, Max.
Hey, thank you, Tom. And very nice to meet you here. And I'm glad for the invitation. And this is a great opportunity for me to share what I've been doing in the past years. I think this is valuable stuff for all the audience here as well. So,
well, yeah, listen, I'm thrilled to get into it. For those that don't know, OORT is focused on data and data specifically for AI. So, Max, why don't you kind of dig into that a little bit and talk about what service you provide, where you collect the data, and how kind of it all fits into the AI ecosystem?
Sure. Yeah. Basically, OORT, at OORT, we're focusing on to build the world's largest data collection platform in a decentralized way. Means like, we help our AI companies, the clients, to quickly collect high quality AI ready data and help them to processing the data and help them to monetize the data if they want. So this is a one-stop shop platform in a 100% decentralized way. By leveraging the blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and also the DePIN infrastructure, and to build the trust on the data, because we believe that data will be the key bottleneck for the AI development in the coming years. And I can share a little bit more about this argument moving forward. So,
well, yeah, listen, I mean, I think if everyone's following AI, you read about the sort of exhaustion of the existing data and how the need for data is one of the hurdles for models to advance farther, right? That's a very kind of core argument. And so the question is, do you need new data? Do you need private data? Do you need synthetic data, right? And so I guess sounds like you guys are focused on the collection of new data that hasn't yet been incorporated. So help us understand what data it is, how you collect it, and kind of how that feeds into the ecosystem.
Yeah, so the key advantage of the platform is like in terms of decentralization, means like we collect the data from anywhere in the world, because that's first of all, for most of the AI companies, especially for the big ones like OpenAI or Google, and they train their large language models, right? So they need the diversity of the data from all over the world. So people need a channel to contribute or help the company to collect the data from some corner in the world. And there's no such platform before OORT. And that's a key motivation for us. How can we build such a platform and to collect the global data from anywhere in the world? And this is very important. And to build such a platform, you need to resolve like the payment system and the trust, right? The trust on the trust on the data source, right? So usually we see so far OORT has already built the world's largest decentralized data collection platform. And we have been running for almost 1 year, and we have like 350,000 active data contributors from more than 100 countries in the world. So there's a big milestone we have achieved so far in the past few months. And we already help lots of companies to collect the data from all over the world. For example, let's say there's one company, I cannot disclose the name, but there's one company, is an NLP company, who is trying to build a translator. And also we call it this the translator for smart home, small devices, and basically they need to collect the language from 51 countries in the world in a very short run. And, this is very challenging for them because, collecting data from very specific 51 countries in the world is not easy, right? So, and OORT is a perfect solution for them. And we help them to collect this data in, just a few weeks. And we send their script to the data contributors in these 51 countries. And then these contributors, they just read the script and record it and submit it. And the whole process, more importantly, are recorded on blockchain to ensure that, for this AI company, they know where their data comes from, right? If this data is a real data or fake data. Because, that's these days we see that some data contributors, they try to manipulate our platform by creating data from AI agents or ChatGPT, right? And they just upload it for rewards. And also, they do lots of manipulations and like a fake stuff. And but our technology are trying to prevent and avoid all this malicious behavior in the data collection process. I think this is also another key contribution of the platform. And we want to ensure that all the data we collect and hand over to the company, the AI company, are authentic or traceable and high quality data from the users around the world. So yeah, that's what we have been doing so far, and we do see the strong demand from the pipeline of AI companies all over the world, to request the data set for their AI chain.
Listen, that's really interesting. I want to get into a little more specificity onto the data, because data can mean lots of different things. And you were talking about contributors, and it sounds like those contributors are individuals that are recording or capturing, that sounded like language or other models for that particular business. That's one example. Is it all individual contributors that are collecting this data, or are there other examples of types of data collection?
Yeah. Basically, the data we're focusing on is right now is the corner case high value data, based on the requests from our AI clients. Let me give you one example. What does that mean? So basically, we have one client, who is a car maker in the United States, and they want to collect the data for their to train their autopilot system for autonomous driving. And what the data set that they need is the pedestrian cross the street during the midnight. And they want an image, they want the videos about that, because they want to use this data set to train their autopilot system, right? Because this is in their view, this is a very critical scenario. Their car need to detect the pedestrian across the street during the midnight because it's not that visible, right? So, and this we call this a corner case, but a critical case. So for such a data set, it's pretty rare. So even for these car makers, they cannot purchase that data set from anywhere. They cannot download it from the internet. There's no such a data set available at all. They have to collect this data set. And for us, because that we have 350,000 data contributors around the world, and we just send this task out. And then these people, during the midnight, they just go out to the street and cross street and shoot the video and the image and submit it. You see, this is how powerful this platform is, right? So especially for this pretty rare high value data set for these AI companies.
So fascinating. So it's the other thing that's interesting. I know other projects out that collect data, like Grass is out there, and that's just YouTube, right? So that's a continual data kind of model where the person just needs to share their IP address and they're sort of passive. Yours is a much more active and potentially high value, because your participants have to go do things in order to collect that data and obviously to get rewarded as well, right?
Exactly. So basically, let me chime in like this. So there are some data collection platforms like a Graphs you mentioned, right? So basically, we're two different type of data collection mechanism. For us, we call it proactive. So we receive the specific request from AI companies, right? Very, very specific request. And then we proactively, our data contributors proactively go out and collect this data for this AI company. For Graphs and some other data collection platforms, what they do, we call it passive data collection approach. They just download their, for example, like a Chrome extension, install it, and then you just do whatever you want. You go to YouTube or something, you do internet surfing, and then that extension just automatically in the backend to retrieve and record all the data and share your data with other people, right? Something like that. So this is passive data collection. So this is the difference between the two.
Super interesting. And I think there's another one out there that does something a little bit like what you guys do. I'm just blanking on the exact name right now. But there's another one that uses phone-based data collection to map all the restaurants in a particular neighborhood of Manhattan, as an example.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think in our platform we can do the similar thing as well. So I think we are also supported. We basically we do also have some clients. They leverage our platform to do surveys. Because given the data contributor base, from more than 100 countries, right? So the diversity is the key of and the most valuable asset of the platform, basically.
No doubt. Well, listen, let's back up for a second and let's talk about Max and how you got involved in all this and how you discovered this as a need and built the business that we see now.
That I joined Columbia back to 2016, and since then I started to teach AI and blockchain courses at Columbia University. So, actually I offered the first blockchain courses in a university in the United States back to 2017, I think, at that time. So, and also I wrote the textbook Reinforcement Learning, which is, the AI learning algorithm, basically. And I'm in the space in AI and the blockchain for years. For AI, the why I want to focus on, this data pillar is in AI development. The reason is this. So actually, I just wrote an article for Forbes yesterday about this. So in AI developments, there are three key pillars, right? So the computing, the algorithm, and the data. So for computing, this is dominated by NVIDIA. We all know that, the GPU cards, right? For startups, for people, regular entrepreneurs, they have no chance to win or to compete with NVIDIA. And for algorithms, this is dominating by the group of scientists and the researchers in these big companies like Google or Meta or OpenAI and some big universities as well, right? So this is dominating by this group of people. So there's not much opportunities for people to compete with these people. But only data. When you look at the data domain, there's no manipulation, no people dominating this space. So means there's lots of opportunities, right? So in your mind, you don't know which is a platform or companies dominating the AI data domain. There's no one, right? And you see that a scale AI, which is only focused on the data labeling part, that's a very small part in the AI data processing, right? Data labeling. So that Scale AI just got acquired by 14 billion, a crazy number, right? So and that these big companies, they are competing. From this you can see the signal, but that these big AI firms, they are competing, start to realize and competing on the data side. So that's why they acquired this Scale AI. But so far there's no another Scale AI in the data collection domain. So there's no such platform so far. So that's why I see the opportunity, on the data, AI data domain, compared to computing and algorithm, right? So I think there's a tons of opportunities for us because there's no one is dominating the space right now. So yeah, that's the thing. And then back to my research, since 2017, we will start to build this stuff and build the DePIN infra to support this decentralized data collection platform. And so far, we already built the world's largest DePIN network, to support AI data collection platform. So we already deployed like almost 100,000 devices around the world, covering more than 20 countries. And this is a very powerful DePIN network. And now all the data we collected from the world for these AI clients, this data automatically stored in this DePIN network rather than like going to AWS or Google Cloud or something like that, right? Because going to the centralized data center, we know that we can easily manipulate the data. But we want to, the full stack, we want it to be 100% decentralized and controlled by people, by the technology, not controlled by the, several companies. That's the achievement we have built in the past few years. And since 2021, after we have our patents granted from the U.S. Patent Office, we decided to bring this project from my research lab at Columbia to the market. So, and then we came up with the company OORT, and since 2021 summer, and now it's a little bit more than 4 year old.
Sorry, 2021 summer.
Yeah, so that's the day one.
Yeah,
of the company.
4 years old. 4 years old. Yes, fair enough. Gotcha.
Yeah, 4 years old, right? So for OORT. Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Well, and so you have 100,000 contributors. You mentioned. So this is basically 100,000 people, right, with devices onboarded who receive messages and decide if a particular data collection task is appropriate for them to execute, right?
Right, exactly. But we call this the node providers. We have 100,000 node providers, and the node name's Deimos, DEIMOS, Deimos. That's the name of the devices. And for data contributors, they can download our app and see all the tasks launched by us from these AI companies, and then they can contribute their data. And for these data contributors, we have 350,000 data contributors from more than 100 countries right now.
Gotcha. So there's a different thing. So this is what I'm trying to understand. There's 300,000 data contributors who effectively get paid for collecting data, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And then the nodes, what do the node, then I didn't understand what the nodes do. How are the nodes?
Well, 100,000 node providers, they purchase the node and deploy the node at their home, their office, and to be part of the DePIN network. And these nodes are used for storing and processing the collected AI data from the data contributors.
Gotcha.
And of course, the node providers reward as well by processing and storing the data, right?
So they're effectively CPUs. They're effectively a network of CPUs out there that store and process the collected data.
Yeah, and also for the node, they have 1 terabyte storage space for each node. So this is the default storage space.
Yep, super interesting. And so now we're in it. So let's talk more about the economics. So, how do the economics work? How are people paid? How does that all flow from the provider who connects the data to the node operator? How does that all flow?
So we do have this closed business model. Basically, the AI companies, they come to us and they pay us in fiat currency. To be honest, almost 100% of the companies who paying customers, they are Web2 traditional AI companies. They even don't touch cryptos, right? So this is on the demand side. They pay us fiat currency, US dollars, and then we pay. So that's our revenue, right? And we take. Of course, we take a cut of some share of the revenue part, the payment, and then for the rest of the payment, this goes, that portion goes to the data contributors and also the miners the node providers. So that's the flow basically.
But how does that impact? How's your token involved in that? Because you're paid in fiat, and you're giving fiat out to those people.
I got paid in fiat, but I pay the data contributor and the node providers in our OORT token.
Okay.
And we receive the fiat to purchase the token from the secondary market.
So it's buy and burn model effectively.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. And out of curiosity, because I did a whole paper on DePIN token economics, and buy and burn clearly makes a ton of sense. What's the buy burn percentage, out of curiosity, you guys do?
The percentage, you mean?
Yeah. Do you buy every dollar of revenue? Do you buy and burn 80 cents or 70 cents or 30 cents or
roughly. Now it's for now is almost 100%, because for now we don't, because it's still early stage, right? We want to incentivize our contributors, either data contributors or node providers, as much as possible. So, but moving forward, of course, we will take some profit margin out of it.
Listen, that's terrific. The thing is, I've talked to people on this podcast who said, because we're early stage, we need the funds, so our buy burn percentage is low, and later on it will be higher. So I've heard people say exactly the reverse. Just so you know, they're like, we need some money for the company, so we have to actually keep 50% and use the rest of the token. But I obviously a big fan of high buy burn percentages, without a doubt. So that's really terrific.
Yeah, and we see the good results, right? So that's why our user acquisition is really, really good and really fast. So that's why we have 350,000 data contributors around the world. They indeed from different countries, and when we see them, we are so happy. We receive the message from Finland, from Argentina, from Indonesia, different countries, and we see we're making different. And now that we are, because of this, we're invited by United Nations, UN, to help African people to get a part-time job.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's
so
great.
Actually, this is with the UN's mission, right, to help African people to. What happened is, if you saw the interview from a journalist about this data labeling job in Kenya, so that's crazy. Meta paid the middleman company agency in Kenya $12 per hour for data labeling work, but that agency in Kenya only paid $2 to the people who do the real work, the work, and they work 16 hours, 15 hours per day. And they are all contractors, and it's not like a month contractor; it's a day-by-day contractor. Every morning, you just wait for the call from the agency, and they call you. You come and do the labeling work for Meta, and then they pay you $2 per hour. That's crazy, right? Yeah, and this is available on YouTube. You can find out the video, and there's lots of things going on there. So that's why the decentralized platform like us is making more sense, because we don't have middlemen, right? So the company pay $100, we convert $100 to $100 cryptos, and we send cryptos immediately after you make a contribution. And you don't need to go to the warehouse sitting there and do the work. You just at home, open your phone, turn on your phone, and go to the app and do the job. So that's easy, and you can get some money, maybe $10, $20 per week or something. But that means a lot for these African people in Kenya.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah. So that's why we're now partnered with the UN on this mission. I think this is also something that, although we're a startup company, we're not Google, we're not Microsoft, but we're still, although we're small, but we're trying to make some impact, some big impact.
But just so I understand, because you said something which I was a little different than I understood it. If they pay you $100, you take $100, you buy $100 worth of your token, and then what?
And then we give the token to as an incentive to the data contributors. And
fine. So so the token's circulating. You buy. That's different than buy burn.
Yeah.
Where buy burn, you take the $100, you buy a token, and it's all gone. The token is out of the market, gone.
No, not gun. We purchase token and we use the token because
To
we cannot
reward
send
people.
fiat money to reward people because they from different countries, right?
No, understand. The other models that people use, though, just to be clear, is they will just reward in tokens and then use the buy burn to buy tokens back and burn them. So there's two different things going on.
Yeah.
But understand how you did it. The good thing, what I like about what you're doing it is you're rewarding those individual people specifically for the value of the task they're contributing, right? For the value of the task that they're executing, which is terrific. And that's good for them. But it doesn't lead to overall, how does the token overall become worth something?
You mean the value of the token?
Overall, yeah.
Basically, regarding this, I think tokenomics. So basically, we are focusing on three things, right? First is about the payments. So we encourage the company, the AI company, to pay the service in our token. But for now, they can, of course, they can pay in US dollars, right? But if they use token to pay, and they can get some discount, let's say 20% discount or something like that. But to be honest, for some Web2 companies, for most of them, for now, they don't want to touch cryptos. Even they can save some money, they don't want to touch it, right? So because of regulation, compliance, these type of things. So, but I think in the coming years, I think once the stable coin, something like that, become popular, I think most of the companies, they will accept the crypto payments. So at least in terms of stable coins. And the second is we have our governance system. So the token holders, they can use our token to vote to decide the product, the features, and the foundation plan, all these type of things, and also our blockchain development. So that's for the governance part. And the third one is about the staking. The staking means like in our app, the data collection platform, there's lots of features that you need to stake your token and to show that you're a good and high quality data contributor. For example, like we have 4 tiers of data contributor in our app. The tier 1 is the lowest tier, and the tier 4 is the highest tier. Means like you're the highest quality data contributor, and then you're gonna receive lots of more challenge jobs like a data task, collection task, and of course, as a return, you can earn more, right? And then you have other benefits as well. So to level up to tier 4, you have to do 2 things. One is you have to complete a certain number of tasks before, and in addition to that, you have to stake OORT token. Because that is something that's used to show that you're serious people, right? So, and if you do something back, we can do some penalties from your staking. So something like that. So these are the 3 key utilities of the token in general.
Yeah, and the staking makes sense. And out of curiosity, how much, if you had all 300,000 contributors at the 4th tier, is that a lot of your token supply, or how much? Like, how do you think about those numbers?
Well, I think if we have a 300K tier 4 users, I think we may not, even the current circulation, the total circulation, token circulation, not sufficient.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. That's great. No, that's the idea. Great.
Yeah, that's why our marketing team is pushing hard to encourage people to level up to tier 4.
Awesome. No, that's how you want to have it for sure. And later on, they'll be at tier 5. One thing that I like asking founders, I think you guys are right in this, is it sounds like your business, this whole concept wasn't possible until a smartphone had a certain amount of features in it, right? This isn't possible. This wouldn't have been possible clearly before the iPhone, probably not before several generations into the iPhone. And you also need to have connectivity, like data, in order to transfer the data, right? So this whole, and this is true not just of you, but of other DePIN projects, that you've had hardware progress to a certain level, and you've had software progress to a certain level, and then other elements like bandwidth and processing power that make this achievable that wasn't possible. Pick your date like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you couldn't have even conceptualized this. Is that right?
Yes, I think you're making a very good point. So for us, actually, we're leveraging two things. One is the phone itself, right? Because you know that we're collecting image data, video data, audio data. Basically, we do need a smartphone to, enable this type of a collection, right? So like 20 years ago, you're using Motorola or Nokia. It's not possible for you to shoot the videos and upload it, right? So you have to use the real camera to do so. So then that's another story. So smartphone is the basic infra we need to build this, data collection platform. And second is the software, not the hardware. The second is the maturity of a blockchain and the crypto infrastructure. So because we are fully leveraging the crypto as a payment, blockchain as a layer to build trust, right? On the data source and the data collection process recording. So this type of thing, like we call this in general blockchain infra. So we do need this blockchain infra. Like 10 years ago, we don't have such blockchain infra in place. So so without these two, either one of it, so our current data collection platform will not be here.
Really interesting. Yeah, and that's I think true for a lot of projects at DePIN. And I think it's why DePIN is relatively new, and also why people are still, the penny hasn't dropped kind of globally about it, because all these things converged in a way that's relatively new. So it hasn't, and then it takes a while to commercialize that at scale, which is what I think we're beginning to see, and excited for that. But I think then it will become clear. And by the way, the other point is that as these trends continue, right, as the phone becomes more powerful, right, as blockchain crypto is more used and more prevalent, as that software gets better, all those trends just make DePIN even more powerful and make it even easier for DePIN projects to work, right? So you're on the right side of all those waves which are going forward.
Sure thing. Yeah. That's gonna happen for sure, in my view.
Yeah, no, I totally agreed. What, out of curiosity, what has been hard? What hasn't gone as expected? Because it's fascinating. You're dealing with getting people in lots of countries to do lots of different things. You've got to get customers signed on. What's been the hard part? What's been a challenge? Or harder than you expected? Probably some challenges you expected to have, some you may not have. How do you think about that?
Actually, that we do have many challenges, but I think the most challenge we have, I just want to share this one with you. I think this is a very interesting challenge, which we didn't expect, is the data quality. We see that there's so many people from different countries. They're cheaters. They're trying to manipulate our platform.
Welcome to crypto.
Let me give you one. And this is a challenge for us. So, and that's why this motivated us to build our in-house QC team. We call it quality control team. And we build lots of algorithms with human in the loop as well to deal with such issues. So let me give you one example. For example, like we ask people to collect like the pictures of furnitures, right? Let's say tea table. And then there's some guy from somewhere, we don't know. They use one tea table. They register like hundreds of accounts, right? You use different phones. Like each person, they may own 20 phones, 30 phones. And for each phone, they register an account, like our OORT account. And then they use the same tea table. They use a phone to shoot like pictures from different angles. And then they submit all these images, pictures to us, and to get a reward. This type of thing. And of course, we don't need that for AI training, right? For AI training, we just need one picture for this particular table. Yeah, not 200, 300, right? So, but imagine that for this task in the backend, we quickly, like say in a few hours, we collect like 20,000 images. How can we quickly identify the duplications from these 20,000 images? We cannot depend on like human labors, right? It's not doable. And we have to develop, and we see lots of such cheaters, they do something like this. Or they even just upload the same image through different accounts, right? So yeah, and we have to develop our in-house algorithms to automatically filter out the low quality or duplications of this submitted data from our data contributors. And also many data contributors, they generate the data from ChatGPT, from Gemini, from Grok, these AI models, and they submit it. And like the example, like the pedestrian cross the street during the midnight, you can generate such image from AIs, and they submit it. And we give high reward to this type of rare data, right? Usually a company pay a lot for such data, but they don't want to pay it for the AI generated image. and then basically what we do is like, of course we cannot manually check all the submitted data points one by one. This is not doable. This is not scalable, right? Because every few hours we receive like tens of thousands of images. And then we have to develop lots of advanced algorithms to detect and filter this data, low quality and duplications and something like that. This is pretty challenge, and that I can share this numbers with you. So at the beginning, before we have this filtered QC algorithms, in-house algorithms, so the pass rate, or the pass rate means like the submitted data, the percentage of submitted data which are satisfies the requirements. So the pass rate is about like less than 20%. And now after we have this QC team in the backend, and this pass rate increased to like around 90%, 90 to 95%.
And that pass rate is your customer's pass rate of your data, or your pass rate?
The data we collect from my pass rate.
Your pass rate. Okay.
So the data, let's say we collect 100 data points, right? So before, only 15 or 20 data points satisfy the requirements, but now it's about 90% or 95%.
Well, the way I think about that is that is a big competitive advantage that you guys are building, right? Is that QC capability, because everyone is going to want to collect this data, and you can go out and promise money to people all the time, but it's that QC fraud protection, which is probably the harder bit to build at a scale,
exactly,
than getting 100,000 people to upload images on their phone, of which maybe just a couple of people doing it, right? So to me, that is, I'm just guessing, is a real competitive advantage that you guys are building. That's pretty, that takes money and time and experience and skill to try to replicate.
Exactly. So how can we build such a scalable QC mechanism? So itself standalone is a very core asset of the company, basically. So, but before we make our platform alive, we didn't expect this. So we think people are good people, all good people.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we think people are smart. We try to cheat the system.
Well, listen, we learned if you read any, I suggest if you haven't read like any of the books on Elon, like PayPal was getting killed by fraud in the beginning, just killed.
Yeah.
And again, they also didn't expect near the level of creativity and effort and scale of fraud. It almost bankrupted PayPal in the beginning, and they had to invest, a significant amount in QC as well. So it's not just you. I mean, and listen, at Hedera, we did a reward, and we realized that people were creating fake accounts. I mean, and the fraud attempts were just huge. So I've seen it around.
Yeah, and we learn a lot from this process, and at the end of the day, we identified there's some groups, studios in Asian countries like in China, in Vietnam, in Thailand. They are experts in doing so. They have studios. They have 100 people.
I'll tell you the other thing. To do this reward, we required like verification passports. We realized that in certain Eastern Europe countries, people were buying bulk numbers of passports. Like they go to the level of buying people's passports to verify. So one person would upload, 30, 50, 100 passport names in order to get the rewards.
Oh, yeah. Also credit cards, like national ID cards.
Yeah, exactly.
They can buy it. That's crazy. But that's what we learned. It's a good learn.
Fair enough. And you're but you're based in New York. Is the team in New York? Is the team all over? Where are you building this?
So yeah, the headquarters in New York, and almost all the management team members are in New York, and basically we have almost 40 people, and 15 to 20 people based in New York, and we have other people from other countries as well, from for example from Istanbul, Turkey, from Bulgaria, from Canada, from Hong Kong, China, and Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, we have people all, and Argentina to all over the world.
Well, help us understand. I mean, you guys are obviously collecting hard to collect or hard to find data. Your customers are going to be heavily AI. They are only going one direction. They're only going one way. So what is your goal, or what would make you feel like happy in the pick a period, like in say 5 years, 3 years, whatever object time frame, and then whatever metric? Is it dollar revenue? Is it number of tasks complete? Is it data volume? Like what metrics are you working towards, and what's a kind of a real goal that you guys have set, or would make you kind of feel really accomplished if you achieve? Just help people understand the scale of what you're doing.
So I think the most part make me excited is about the users, that how many data contributors we have on the platform, because that's I think I'm one of the pioneers who believe in the AI data domain, right? So we as I said, I believe this is going to be the future in the coming years, and it will be the one of the biggest bottleneck for AI development. And as a startup, we need to think something earlier before it becomes the problem, right? Everybody knows, and we are trying to, with this in mind, we're trying to build the world's largest, not one of the largest, the world's largest data collection platform. And this is a big opportunity for us. And so far, we already become the largest one, but we want to keep the leadership. We want to keep the leadership. Keeping the leadership is not easy, right? So you do see many competitors, and people see it as a big cake, and people want to take share of that. So and our goal is to acquire onboard 1 million data contributors, from the world by the end of this year. So this is our goal. So every day I'm checking the numbers, and the increase of the data contributors from different countries. And when I see the messages from them from different countries, I feel very proud of what we're doing right now. So because we're doing something which has impact, global impact, not like regional impact.
Yeah, no, which is terrific. But to carry that further, to get 1 million contributors continually engaged requires many millions in revenue, right? That requires, you want $10 a year, or you want $20 a year, right? You want $100 a year, right? You're talking about, tens of millions of revenue, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also to achieve this, we're doing 2 things. One is we add more gamification features in the app, right? Because to keep user active in your app is difficult. It's super challenge, right? And the second is we gonna have the new feature launch in the coming month in October. We call this a Launchpad, the Data Hub Launchpad. So what does that mean? That means we want to build this is a big change on the product. So I would call it evolution. So the Launchpad, Data Hub Launchpad means like we want to build you can view this as a TikTok for AI data. What does that mean? Means like we open the platform to everybody, individuals, AI projects, or organizations, governments, everybody. Everyone can come to our platform to launch their data collection task. And then on the other side is the data contributors. When they come to our app, they will scroll down and see, wow, there's like maybe 100 companies, 1,000 companies, or some KOLs, some individuals. They publish some interesting data collection task, and which I can contribute, right? Then you can just contribute. You can get token reward, and that token is not necessarily OORT token only. It can be any token, from the task issuer. So now we already, from infra perspective, we already built the cross chain between OORT and Binance and U2U and other layer ones as well. So it means like let's say, Tom, for you can issue a data collection task, or you can just do some survey. Survey is type of a data collection, right? So you send out a survey about your podcast, right? People like it or not like it or something like that, and then you can use your own token on BSC on Binance Smart Chain as a payment. Not only it's not need to be OORT only. You can use your own token or your BNB token or something like that as a reward, as an incentive for people to submit a valid survey, right? So that we want to build this very open platform, just like a TikTok of AI data.
Really interesting.
And I think this is going to be released in mid-October, and we're now our BD team is now onboarding the projects, onboarding the KOLs, influencers to join the Launchpad.
It's going to be so cool. We definitely have to have you back on after that launches. And what I'm thinking about there is what's going to be interesting there to me is, of course, the scale you get to, but then also I'll bet you there's going to be quests or data collection jobs, whatever it is, that are going to be stuff you could never have predicted. And that some of the use will be things you have no idea that was coming. But when you open up this big, the market reacts and you open it up for people to kind of do the highest best use, and you can't even predict what that is. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, that's but I think that's a fun part of the journey. Let's see.
No doubt. Well, listen, how do people follow? How do they become one of the next 600,000 providers or data contributors to the network? How do people kind of follow you and kind of get involved with OORT?
Yeah, so people can follow me on Twitter and follow our Twitter official account, just OORT, and and my Twitter is Max Lee. So people can follow me there, and also welcome to our official website. So our website has plenty of useful information for the people who are interested in becoming the data contributor to join an AI journey. I think this is more importantly, I think the platform is not only about asking people for contributing data or something like that. It's a good channel for individuals to join the AI wave, because so far people all know that AI going to be dominating our life in the coming years, but they have no way to participate in this journey, right? It seems like this is only the game for the big companies, not individuals like regular people, right? So people from many countries. So I think this platform is a way for people to see the projects, AI projects, going on right now, who are they, what they are doing, right? So because in each AI data collection task, we will have a description to describe the project and to describe why this project needs this data to build what, right? So I think this is a way for people to feel that, oh, I'm part of the journey, right? So although I'm in Kenya, but I'm a part of a journey to join some cool AI projects, right? By contributing my data. I think that's something very, very valuable for people.
It is, but on the other hand, you're helping everyone make AI smarter, and we hope that's a good thing. But we will see.
Yes.
But it's happening regardless, one way or the other. Well, listen, thank you for being on, Max. It's been terrific, and I definitely want to have you back after you launch this whole platform and we sort of see what the world and what the crowd starts to do with it. Super excited. So we'll definitely have you back kind of in November after it's been up for a little while.
Cool. Sure thing. Thank you, Tom. Very nice talking to you, and let's stay in touch.
DePINed Podcast, the place where we explore real world use cases unlocked by crypto. That's all for today. Thanks for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this episode, please help us grow. Add a like, add a comment. And of course, if you have anyone you think we should be talking to or have on this podcast, either leave a comment there or reach out. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.